didn't succeed, despite all the trials, all the mainstream media propaganda, especially here in the United States, but to a certain degree with the English language version of some Turkish mainstream media, with operatives who are linked directly to Gülen and the CIA here, and all the think tanks that you and I have been talking about. And that was when I predicted that since the other attempts failed, those would have been some sort of soft coup, the next step would be attempting a coup, a military coup. And Turkey is not unfamiliar. Turkey has gone through 5 coups before, and the 1980s coup was the biggest one. And the coup was implemented by United States, by NATO, using Turkish military, because So on Friday, we just found out through the Twitter and through the U.S. mainstream media here that that coup was in play. And interestingly, as you would observe with many coups around the world, especially those implemented by military slash, CIA deep state, they always take place at night. Why? Because they want to take advantage of the time of the day when people are in bed. So by the time they wake up in the morning, it's all done deal, okay? Then they go about establishing curfew, and that usually lasts. In 1980, when I was in Turkey, it lasted for 3-4 years in certain areas, the curfew, until they established themselves. Well, this fits that particular pattern. And then, of course, we started seeing the psych warfare. This was not present in 1980 coup in Turkey. There were no social medias. There were no Twitter. We didn't have any Facebook. But Spiro and I spent that entire day in front of the monitor, in front of our computer, and we are checking all the information that is being poured into the social media channels, such as Twitter. And lo and behold, we see this tweet popping saying, Erdogan is trying to escape the country. He's flying all over Germany, can't land. He wants to have asylum in Germany. The moment we saw this tweet, it was psych warfare written all over it. Because what would you like to do to demoralize people and make the coup successful? You either false information, declare the leader dead, and that is amazingly effective because people get demoralized. They are saying it's a done deal. We don't even have a leader anymore. Or they say your leader ran away. He left you and he wants to go and get asylum in UK or United States or Germany, which they tried to do. So at that point, I started chasing these tweets and saying, where is your source and where is the link? Where are you getting this information? To just show you how the faces of coup has changed, or the implementation tactic now, it's even in a way stronger, more multi-fronted, because social media, as it did with Arab Spring, as it did momentarily when we were seeing that possible Iran Spring, use of Twitter and Facebook to help the coup succeed by spreading rumor, by spreading misinformation. Well, I would distinguish between staged versus some foreknowledge, because Erdogan for the past 3 years justifiably have been trying to clean house, because as we have received, this is documented facts, a certain percentage of military has been infiltrated by CIA Gülen network. A very large percentage of Turkish police force, and this is over 20-25 years period, people, that they have been infiltrations, has been infiltrated by Gülen's CIA network. Same thing with the courts. And every time he attempted, he being Erdogan, even with facts and evidence, rounding up these people and removing them from the position, well, that was used especially by the Western media and the extension of Gülen network, including many media organizations in Turkey that are still under the control of Gülen movement. It became bad PR. He is being dictator. Look at this. He's removing secular thinking people from the military because he wants to bring Sharia law. Now, the real Sharia law actor for the CIA happens to be Mullah Gulen, the man who lives in the United States and gets to be every day more powerful, a man who's taking hundreds of elected U.S. representatives into fancy schmancy expensive trips, a man who goes and builds madrasas around the world. That's the Sharia man, CIA's Sharia man, accusing Erdogan of being a dictator. And we have been watching it unfold, James. This way, the idea, the notion, the rumor of the coup being staged has been floating for quite a while. I would say close to a year. Even when I was in Turkey last year, there were people who were whispering. They were saying, with election it didn't work. It didn't work with organizing protests. Basically, they're going to come like they did in 1980s and we're going to have a military coup. I think this was their dry run. I think this was a warm-up coup. And the real big coup is still on its way against Erdogan. Maybe with this one, and this is a maybe, I'm putting a hypothesis label on this. Maybe it was to, you know how you check the patient's pulse to see what kind of shape that person is? Maybe they're trying to really take the pulse of the nation to see whether or not they are going to really oppose the coup. Where is going to be the public opinion? Where is going to be the public stand? What kind of holes would be in the plan?